Hi, I'm Mike Sutton, Regional UK Sales Manager, and today I'll be hosting this webinar where we'll discuss Soteria Dimension and its applications. Soteria Dimension is the latest addition to the Soteria family of products. As with the rest of the range, Soteria Dimension is future-proofed with backwards and forwards compatibility. Whether you want to use the device on a 1992 XP95 panel, a 1995 Discovery panel, or the very latest Core Protocol control panel. Soteria Dimension has an innovative flush-mounted design and uses chamberless technology for fire detection. It has been designed to work in niche applications. The Soteria Dimension optical on the left blends seamlessly into its environment. Its low profile makes it ideal for high-end commercial and high-end residential sites that require a premium aesthetic design. The Soteria Dimension optical specialist on the right has been designed with anti-tamper and anti-ligature features, including a shock-resistant faceplate, making it ideal to protect the most vulnerable in care and custody. Now we'll watch a short video from Liam Arstle, the Head of Product Management, discussing the research and innovation behind Soteria Dimension.
Hi, I'm Liam Arstle, Head of Product Management at Apollo Fire Detectors. During our research with customers, we found that there was a need for a detector to protect the most vulnerable people. These could be found in custodial suites, in detention centres, in hospitals, and all sorts of other applications. We focus on innovation in our industry, and that, coupled with what our customers needed and wanted, created the Soteria Dimension range. The Soteria Dimension Specialist detector comes with a metal faceplate and with anti-tamper screws, meaning that it is great for environments like custodial suites, in mental health care units, or anywhere where they may be subject to damage. And because of this, they also have anti-ligature properties, which mean that they are safe to use in these environments. As with all Apollo detectors, we do everything we can to ensure that they can be adapted and used on our systems. So Dimension, like other products, is backwardly compatible, enabling it to be used on the different protocols that we have. If you require any more information, please visit our website or contact your sales manager.
This image shows the IR beams that cross and create the virtual chamber 2.5 centimeters below the faceplate in order to be compliant with the standards. The IR transmitters pulse 18 times per second, and the device requires comparable signals received on both the A and the B channel to instigate a change in the analog value. This allows for the covering of a single window by an insect, for example. We also include filters to remove the effects of direct and indirect sunlight on the device, thereby overcoming many of the problems found in plateau. Next, we'll watch a short video from Dr. Phil Watson, our Head of Research, describing how the Soteria Dimension device works and some of the challenges faced during development.
So how does Dimension work? In short, it works just like an ordinary smoke detector. And a normal detector, a normal optical smoke detector, has an infrared light source. That light source is normally fired across the chamber in an ordinary detector, and a light receiver that picks up that light when it's scattered by smoke. Dimension works just the same. We have an infrared light source. The difference is it's shining out of a window outside the chamber. And then just in the small area in front of the detector, if there's smoke present there, it will scatter light back towards a receiver that's looking through a separate window. So in some ways, it's just like a normal detector. It uses infrared light scattering, but the difference is it's happening in the outside world. So the infrared light receiver can see everything else that's going on, like daylight, like artificial lighting in the room, like insects moving around in front of it. So we have to put in extra sensors and extra intelligence to make sure we can still detect the smoke and not be influenced by these other factors. Those are the real challenges with developing Dimension, overcoming those additional problems such as dust, insects, objects in the room, and still being able to detect that tiny amount of light that gets scattered by smoke from the emitter back to that infrared light receiver. So we had to put in additional sensors. So additional optical sensors are built in, and they can detect if there's someone putting their fingers in front of the detector, if there's insects flying around in front of the detector. And we use a bit of intelligence to combine the signals from these multiple optical sensors and determine if what we're seeing is smoke from a fire or some other kind of nuisance source. So what do we do if we detect a nuisance? It depends on the type of nuisance. So if we measure dust on the window, we can signal that back to the panel as a dirt reading, or if the dirt level is too high, as a trouble signal. And then the user can take action. In the case of dirt, they can go back with a cloth and give it a wipe, and update the reading and get a clean signal. If it's something more malicious, like someone's covered up the detector to try and prevent it detecting smoke, we can signal a fault signal back to the panel, and then the user can take appropriate action then, depending on how they want to set up their device and their panel. So in a nutshell, that's how Dimension works.
As you can see, the device not only has the ability to detect smoke, but also the ability to detect foreign objects in front of the device, including solid and moving objects, and this is confirmed by the device passing the requirements of the new EN54 Part 7 standard, which includes tests for static and moving objects. Also, as the device has an internal isolator, it passes the EN54 Part 17 isolator tests and is approved by the following approval bodies: LPCB in the UK and Ireland, VDS in Germany, BOSEC in Belgium, FG is the Norwegian certified body, SBSC is a Swedish approval body, making this product internationally recognised. Also, by the end of 2021, the device will have its UK CA approval as well. The chamberless design eliminates dust and insect ingress. Its intelligent sensing technology reduces false alarms, and it can be fully integrated with core protocol. Its ideal applications include hotels, galleries, restaurants and shopping centres, designer shops like Stella McCartney in London, and also high-end residential. Soteria Dimension was even spotted in an episode of Grand Designs on Channel 4 in a luxury residence. Soteria Dimension Specialist shares all of the features of the standard version, but includes additional features and certifications surrounding anti-tamper and anti-ligature applications. It has a shock-resistant faceplate secured with anti-tamper screws. It has also been designed and tested to meet the specific anti-ligature requirements. It is currently undergoing extensive testing under a hydrogen peroxide vapour atmosphere. To date, no false alarms have been recorded during the HPV cleaning, and it has clocked approximately 800 cycles, which is the equivalent of 8.5 years based on 2 deep cleans a week. Soteria Dimension Specialist is an ideal device for mental health units, care homes, hospital specialist care rooms including segregation areas, prisons and custodial suites. It excels in applications that cater to the most vulnerable in care and custody. Health and well-being are paramount in mental health establishments, and there have been many cases where the fire detection system has been attributed to a patient being harmed or the patient harming others. There is a provision within the Mental Health Act of 1983 as to custody, conveyance, and detention to provide detection for these people for their safety and well-being. As we move on to an example of a case study, this is the Edgware Community Hospital, where 17 high-security bedrooms are protected by Soteria Dimension Specialist. This is one of many examples of Soteria Dimension in mental health. In this particular example, we can see that the device mounted above the bed and is installed with a 500mm clearance all the way around the device, including walls, light fittings, and tops of doors, etc. We advise this for best practice to avoid unwanted faults. For custodial, there are additional tests required to be undertaken to meet the requirements of the Ministry of Justice specification Spec 38. To do this, we built a flat-pack prison cell within our fire lab and completed the tests shown below for this environment. The device itself passed the requirements for all of these tests, making it suitable for these custodial areas. Thanks for listening, and for more information on Soteria Dimension, please visit our website at apollo-fire.co.uk.